Hey folks, Steve here. How you doing? Hey, this video is pretty much all about hardware. And so if you're not into hardware and you don't want to hear me talk about hardware for a long time, show hardware, you know what I mean, there's some show and tell here, then this isn't the video for you. You're going to want to go search somewhere else. But if you like hardware, if you're a hardware addict like I am, this might be the video for you. So in this video, I'm simply going to talk about the usefulness of having a trailer like this and its method of organization, primarily from the aspect of hardware and making me more efficient because I'm not going to the store all the time. That's what this video is about. It ends, and I'll show little pockets of hardware along the way, emphasizing what I mean, and I believe it ends with a fly around, I think, where I just do a quick, rapid fly around of the trailer itself. So if you're interested in that, then you might want to check out this video, but forward through to that point, and then you can see what you want to see. It's not the only video I have on this trailer, certainly, and so you can check my channel for other videos that if you're interested in some aspect of this trailer, because it's a build out, not because it's my trailer, then great, you might want to look for that. Otherwise, that's what this video is about, and so if it's for you, I hope you stick with me and have a great day, and if it's not for you, I hope you have a great day anyway and you find the video that you're looking for. Hey, SDS Construction, you should like and subscribe on my channel. Hey folks, Steve here. How you doing, right? So if you would, like and subscribe. Have a great day, enjoy the video, and I'll see you, well, I won't see you, but trailer will see you on the backside. Bye. Hey folks, Steve here. How you doing? I am here to sing the praises of a great hardware store. I can say great hardware store because a long time in coming organization has allowed me to have a pretty good hardware store. Why a hardware store? Well, I like the term, and I got the term from Ron Paulk. When I was watching not his very first video, but the very first video I watched of him basically doing a quick deep dive into his smart trailer. And that really that motivated me to go, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. And so I figured it out, got the plans, built it, and voila, 4 years later, I'm going strong. This is cool. But with that, in there that really captivated me, he opened up one of his drawers and he had a whole drawer full of small viewtainers that was just all kinds of small hardware. And for whatever reason, that just triggered me. That was an aha moment. That was an appealing moment that I thought, yes, I've got to have one of those. And so I do. Now, I don't buy viewtainers. I never have even held a viewtainer as far as I'm aware. I've never seen them in my local Home Depot, and I'm not going to order them online. I have checked them out. I just, basically looking at what I saw, I thought, well, maybe I could do something different for less. And I have 8-ounce jars, 4-ounce jars from a company called Novalink, I believe, and it's just something I found on Amazon just by searching clear jars with metal lids. I would like a clear lid, but I was a little bit concerned about the plastic. And so if you get plastic, you can have a clear lid. But I like the fact that there's no writing on them. You can see into them. I just like it. And, let's say, yeah, I can put a few screws into there and just take that with me if I want to. So, yeah, it's really cool. So anyway, I have the 8, I have the 4, and I do have some 16-ouncers. I don't know if they come any bigger than that or smaller, but I have all of them. But primarily, the 4-ounce go in my hardware drawer that I'm looking at right now, why I thought, hey, let's shoot a quick video on this. And my 8-ounce is this hardware store, which is kind of a vertical, what Ron would call a viewtainer-like shelf system, where you just have some narrow shelves that can support small things. That's what that is. And for this one, I have the much larger containers here. Like that's a number 2 by 12, and that's actually a hex head. Self-tapping. All the self-tapping stuff is right up there. All right, so what does this allow me to do? Well, I had all of this hardware strung all the way out. So check this out. I have had all of this hardware. Now I have, of course, now that I have this trailer, over the years, I have added more hardware as I've seen, oh, I am missing the 1.5 inch, and boy, I would love to have some 1.5 inch screws in that particular size. So yes, this is not what I started out with 4 years ago. This has grown because I had the space to grow, and now I'm fairly maxed out. So you can see all of those. Those are your 4-ounce. Whereas the 8-ounce are pretty much right up there. And, you can see right into them. I love this. I do keep labels in there, whether it's just a small piece of cardboard, probably from the box that the screws came in, like that one. I just clipped off the top of it to put it in there. I have so much stuff here that it's just quick for me to know what I have by looking at the little labels on the inside. Why all the hardware? Well, at first, I would say I had at least half of this. I owned half of it. I don't know if I owned it all. I owned certainly half of everything that you see. I owned half of it. And it was strung out in my basement in various organizers and containers and whatever. I had one big stack of like 5 different containers in a plastic housing, and they had all random things. So I had this hardware, but you go to find something, good luck. You're going to have a lot of time invested in finding that whatever it is, right? That half-inch pan head number 8. You know, that's what you need. And I know I have them, but where are they? And so when I saw that hardware store in his smart trailer, I thought, yep, there you go. I need a method of organization. And regardless of what it was, I just needed to pull all that stuff together and figure out what I had. So I did. Spent a long time organizing, and the result of it is that drawer right down there. But then by extension, the larger quantities up here of things you would use a little bit more in bulk. Then I have just bulk stuff, you know, like inch and 5/8 drywall screws. They're not going to go over here. I may have some overflow, but when you're drywalling, you're going to be, you know, if I'm making patches and repairs, I'm going to be going through several screws. If I'm doing a whole house or if I'm doing a whole room, I may buy a box of 10 pounds or 25 pounds, whatever I need there. And then the extra comes in the trailer if I have room for it. So for instance, in this particular hardware store, one thing I was always fretting about when I was on a job site was I had a whole bunch of washers at home, never made it with me on the job site, and washers will often save the day. Many, many times that I've ran into, man, if I just had 2 washers, this would be a thing, but it's not enough to go down to the hardware store. So what I did was, you know, I had several washers, so I got them all together. The very, very small washers in small quantities are right here from number 6s and 8s and 10s, and then over here I have some lock washers that I've complemented because I didn't have a lot of these. But then things like, you know, 1/4 inch all the way up to 5/16, all the way up into 3/8 and beyond. And then I have some fender washers right in here because, man, fender washers, beautiful, beautiful things when you need them. Then I thought, well, you know, I had a couple of boxes of, you know, various machine screw nuts. And so with that, I went ahead and plussed it up. So I have basically nuts up to 3/8, which is right there. They're the external, the exterior nuts right there. But anyway, so, you know, I just have all this. And then I have all of the random stuff that I've run into, various types of machine screws and metrics that just really have no place. Colored screws, you know, white and black. That's nice to have. Some carriage bolts there. And then kind of random things, you know, like to hang mirrors and rubber washers, rubber grommets, spacers for signs, you know, shelving pegs right in there. And then, you know, just other kinds of just unusual hardware, little rubber stoppers, little brass pieces, some carpet tacks and small brads. And then back over here, I kind of overlooked it, but the finish washers, both in the kind of the stainless look and the gold look. This kind of stuff. All the smaller things right here and the bigger things over here, not the bulk. The bulk you're using the bulk you're using all the time anyway. So you're going to have that stuff. But self-drilling, wood screws, construction screws, and down here some sheet metal screws. I don't have every size of everything, but I have the main sizes. And with all of the washers and all of the nuts and all that stuff, what this stuff does, what all of this does, it keeps me on the job site. I'm not efficient. I would love to believe I'm super efficient. I'm not efficient. And I don't want to be the guy that's always running to the store, then decreasing what efficiency I do have. I don't want to decrease that any further. So I don't believe that I'm uber efficient. You know, oh, I'm not efficient. I shouldn't say that. That I wish I were more efficient. And so the last thing I want to do is impinge upon that. And so keeping me on the job site is better. Keeping me out of Home Depot, buying extra tools that I don't need, is better. And so a hardware store like this is simply going to keep me on the job because I'm going to have 2 or 3 of that unusual whatever. I am going to have the washers. You know, hey, but man, if we just had 5 washers, number 10 washers, hey, I got that. They need to be lock washers. Got that too. The Magic Trailer, she will deliver. She's a beast. Beyond that, I do have 3 organizers, 3 of those clear plastic bins with all the dividers. I do have 3 organizers left over from my original system that was lackluster at best. And those particular ones have some sheet metal, and they do have some kind of bolt, kind of machine screw kind of things. They just really didn't fit anywhere else. I didn't have enough of anything. It was kind of very, very random. So I sorted into effectively size and diameter, and then kind of small, medium, large, but it's not it's uber divided out. And even then, that has saved my bacon many, many times, kept me on the job site, kept me going. So, you know, various, you know, just really cool things here. You know, just... It's awesome to be a mini rolling Home Depot. I will not lie, I like it. And I really appreciate feeling like I am ready, I'm on the job, I'm good to go, I am prepared. I like to be self-sufficient, I like to be prepared, I like to have the thing that we need. So, why do I have a lot of these tools in here? That, you know, I don't use gutter tools a lot, but every once in a while you're on a job site, wow, if we had those gutter crimpers, hey, I got a set. You know, oh man, if we had a side, you know, wouldn't it be cool if we had a siding stripper? A siding puller. Got one. Yeah, check bottom drawer. And it's just nice to have the tools for the job when the job comes up, even though you weren't expecting to have to pull some siding that day to get behind whatever it was to do the, you know, like the, whatever the install is. You know. So, I appreciate all of this. Do I need all of it? No. Am I using everything in a calendar year? No. But what do you need? Certainly I can point to a few things that are very consistent because I'm replacing it all the time. You know, a lot of these self-drilling, you know, they seem to be very popular. Not so much with the wood screws. You know, I don't use a lot of wood screws. If I'm using wood screws, oftentimes I might be going to a drywall or an exterior screw. But I do have, again, you know, probably from number 8 up to number 12, various sizes of those. Down here, this is just random construction stuff, you know, that are just things that really aren't in bulk but don't have a place anywhere else. And then down here, sheet metal, which are basically like the self-drilling, except they don't self-drill. And I could afford to replace the sheet metal with a lot of the self-drilling. I had mentioned that I did keep some of the plastic organizers for little bits and bobs of hardware that really didn't have any other place to live. They weren't honestly worth trying to figure out a way to put them in these jars. I just didn't have enough of them, or I felt that I didn't have enough. So they're down here. Let me show you what I've got. So sheet metal panhead screws, and you see what sizes I could list because that's what I felt was in there. Smaller sheet metal screws. Again, sheet metal, various with the bugle head or the flute head for countersink. And then over here is just that one organizer for machine screws, the various types of stuff there. I have recently plussed it up because I found that I really did, in one installation, had a hood that came in and came with it, and so I needed some machine screws. So I went ahead and I found some on sale at my local hardware store, and so I just got a few sizes. I haven't figured out exactly what I want to do with them yet. For that, I'm anticipating maybe changing out one or more of these organizers, maybe getting like 2 bigger organizers and just condensing it down and just having 2. I've already done that with my air nail, or with my cordless nailers, with all the nails for that, air nailers, cordless nailers. I've already condensed them down, and so I was thinking about that now that I've plussed up and have a few more machine screws. I'm looking forward to the next trailer build. The next trailer build will occur, I wanted to say, and I have said in the past, 2025, which is next year. This is 2024. No. But it's looking more like 2026. This year, we're really tapped out for resources with the rest of our edition. We finished it all up. This is my 30th anniversary for wedding, wedding anniversary. And this year, we really don't have money to do a lot with. And so, we'll celebrate somehow. But I really would like to take the missus to like that, really, really do it up. So that's looking more like it's a 2025, so our 31st. And with that, I think those resources that I would actually think about putting into a trailer, I will end up putting into a very nice wedding anniversary to say, thank you for sticking with me this long. Now that you got me molded and you've invested in me, got me molded the way you want, don't give me away. I have a Tula trailer. 2026 then, 2025 if I'm lucky, but 2026, this trailer would be swapped out for a 8.5 wide instead of 6, so my aisleway would be much wider. And I will gain height because I'm going to go as tall as I can go. I know I can actually order it up to some ungodly height. I don't know if I need that. I don't want to actually honestly have to worry about clearance under some of these lower bridges. I don't think I would, but I have to take a look at that, especially if you put a ladder rack on top, so. But with that, it would be 8.5 wide, it would be 12 long. I can't go any longer than that, otherwise I'd have a very difficult ability to pull it back in where I'm parked right now in my alleyway. I have a little concrete pad out here. And so it'd be very difficult to actually get in there because it's such a narrow alley. I would have trouble parking it. So I don't think I can go anything longer than 12, as much as I would say, just a 14, because then you just have breathing room, if nothing else. It'll be a 10,000 pound, it'll be a dual axle 10,000 pound. And I would never tow 10,000. I'm not going to outfit it to 10,000 pounds, but it's nice to know that you're underway all the time. That would be the plan. And for the hardware store, why am I telling you about my trailer? Because of the hardware store. In the hardware store, if I do a true smart design, smart built trailer, right based on Ron Paulk's designs, with a little modification to the nose cone, because I don't have all the vacs that he does. So I can do something up here, which I was thinking more countertop, a little bit of kind of an office space, and I was thinking microwave, fridge, coffee maker. Yeah, buddy. So this would get reorganized a little bit in a new design, but otherwise I'd have some deep storage. I'd say, it's beautiful, beautiful ideas. But with the hardware store, where most of his hardware store is underneath his large tool garage towards the front of the trailer. His tool garage runs horizontal, and it's big and wide and tall. Underneath it, he has this great big, like 8 foot long by 3.5 feet tall, wide space where he puts 3 what he calls viewtainer shelves, and he has the taller viewtainers all lined up there, and he has 3 8-foot shelves full of this stuff. Well, my jars aren't as tall as his view tainers. I could do 4 or 5 shelves in that 8 feet. Now, if it's 8 feet long and you have 4 shelves, that's 32 lineal feet that you could put jars in. I have plenty of that. That would be awesome, especially if the jars are the smaller ones that, you might be able to get, a couple of shelves where only one would go. That, aside from having the drawer hardware store, which I would still do, but even then, with smaller jars, certainly this would be an awesome size, and the 16s would actually be an awesome size at that point. Then it would be super accessible as opposed to coming back here. It's a little bit tight. I can do it. I'm a hobbit though. But as it's lined right up, and at that point, you can really set it up kind of like a mini Home Depot as far as a little bit of labeling, sheet metal, construction screws, machine bolts, washers, nuts, things like that, and then just line it up from like big to small, small to big. That would be wonderful. And I would look forward to that, to having that hardware store on display, so it's really super, just no excuse not to use it. And I would most likely then get rid of a lot of these things. Beyond that, the bulk, you've already seen the bulk hardware, but here's the bulk hardware. Here you are. These are in these organizers. So that's what you're looking at. It's these Milwaukee organizers with the large, and then 8 small, so 8, 9, 10 organizer bins. And I also have the ability with a little bit of room in the back for kind of overflow. These shelves do not come out because I have the passive restraint system where you have to lift up the drawer and then pull it over that little hardware. You see that little indent right there? It has to fall behind that little piece of hardwood right there. So here's my bigger hardware store, finish nails, interior screws. So that's your drywall screw right there. All of my exteriors, most everything there is star drive or stainless. Then I have a bit of hodgepodge trim screws down here to the nails. And then basically, and I would love to organize this one, and that there is an organizer in there, but it has a little bit of overflow in the front. And with that, this is my Tapcons. I would love to reorganize my Tapcons because that's more of a hodgepodge, and when I go for Tapcons, it seems like I never quite have exactly what I want. And I don't know. It seems like every time I need Tapcons, I have to go buy them, but I still have them. So that's a bit of a frustration, but I'm not doing tons of Tapcons all the time. But I do need to organize that one, and then the miscellaneous stuff would have to come out and go in a jar, I guess, right? So that's your bulk. That's the big stuff. Then medium-sized quantities. Then in those 2 drawers, the small quantities. That's how it's organized, and that's how I stay as efficient as I can be on the job site, knowing that most likely I have the hardware that I need, and if it's bulk stuff, I buy it in bulk for the job site, like, 25-pound box of drywall screws and things like that. It allows this trailer to earn its name, and its name for me is the Magic Trailer. It seems like every time I come out here, this trailer has the tool that I need, and it has the hardware that I need. It pays for itself time and time again, and for that reason, this will make it into the next trailer in some iteration. Most likely though, the new hardware store would be right here. The tool garage would go vertically, or would go horizontally instead of vertically, and all this space down here, you would have this indented gap, but it would be more indented, and it would support shelves. It would have that 8 feet long by how many ever shelves you have, and so you end up with 32, 40 lineal feet of shelves. What can't you do with 32 to 40 lineal feet of shelves? Really, what can't you do? And so just, it's amazing that I would be able to have that at some point. So folks, if you would like and subscribe, if you haven't already done that, I really appreciate that. It helps drive the algorithm and get me out there a little bit more. And if you would, have a great day, have a great evening, whatever you are doing. I know you deserve it, so have a great one, regardless of what that is. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.